And a very good bread and butter it is too.
Yes. And don't eat it all as if you were going to eat it all. Because you act like you're married to her already. And you're not married to her already. And I don't believe you ever will be.
Why would you say that?
Well, first of all, girls never marry the men they flirt with. Girls don't think it right.
Oh, that is nonsense.
It isn't nonsense. It's great truth. It accounts for all the bachelors you see wandering all over the place. Second of all, I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolyn is my first cousin. And before I allow you to marry her, you'll have to clean up the whole question of Cecily.
What do you mean by Cecily? What do you mean allergy by Cecily? I know no one of the name of Cecily.
Lane, bring Mr. Worthing his cigarette case he left in the smoking room last time you dined here.
You mean to say you've had my cigarette case this whole time? I wish to goodness you would let me know. I've been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it, and I was very nearly offering a large reward.
Oh, I wish you had. I seem to be more than usually hard up.
Oh, there's no good now that the thing has been found.
Yes. Lane. Lane, where is the... Oh, there she is. See, now that I read the inscription inside, I see the thing isn't yours after all.
Of course it's mine. You've seen me with it 100 times, and you have no right whatsoever to read what is written inside.
But it's not even yours after all, because it says on here it's somebody called Cecily, and you have no idea of somebody called Cecily.
Well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes, charming old lady too, who lives in Tunbridge Wells.
Well, why does she call herself Little Aunt Cecily if she's your aunt?
But don't be ridiculous. Some aunts are tall, some aunts are not. That is surely a decision that an aunt may be allowed to make for herself. You seem to think that every aunt should be exactly like your aunt. This is absurd. Just give me back my cigarette, please.
Oh, it still makes no sense because on here she calls you Jack. But your name isn't Jack at all, it's Ernest.
No, it isn't Ernest, it's Jack.
But you've always told me it was Ernest. You sound like an Ernest. You look like an Ernest. You're the most earnest looking person I've ever seen in my life. It's absurd just saying your name isn't Ernest.
Well, in town, I am Ernest. In the country, I am Jack. And that cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Really?
Yes, quite.
I always thought of you being a confirmed Bunburyist. Now I know it's true.
What on earth do you mean by Bunburyist?
I'll reveal to you the meaning once you reveal to me why you are Jack in the country and Ernest in the town.
First, produce my cigarette case. Thank you.
Now, produce your explanation of why you were Jack in the country and Ernest in the town.
Oh, there is nothing improbable about my explanation at all. In fact, it's perfectly ordinary. Old Mr. Thomas Carden, who adopted me when I was a little boy, made me, in his will, guardian to his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Carden. Cecily, who refers to me as her uncle from motives of respect you couldn't possibly appreciate, lives out in my house, in the country, under the charge of her admirable governess, Miss Prism.
And where is this place in the country, by the way?
Oh, that is nothing to you, dear boy. You're not going to be invited.
Why? Oh, I did suspect that though, dear fellow. I've Bunburyed all over Shropshire on multiple occasions. Now go on, why are you Ernest in the town and Jack in the country?
Told you.
Oh, yes, you did too. See, the truth is really pure and simple. Modern life would be very tedious with either, and modern literature a complete impossibility.
Oh, that isn't a bad thing at all.
No, but literature criticism is not my forte and is not is yours, my friend. Don't try it. You should leave that to people who have been to university. They seem to do it well in the daily papers. What you really are is a Bunburyist.
What on earth do you mean by Bunburyist?
You've invented a very useful younger brother called Earnest in order that you may be able to come down to town as often as you like. See, I've invented an invaluable permanent invalid called Bunbury in order that I may be able to go down to town as often as I like. Bunbury is perfectly invaluable. If it wasn't for Bunbury's extraordinarily bad health, for example, I wouldn't be able to dine with you at Willis's tonight.
I didn't ask you to dine anywhere with me tonight.
I know. You're very careless about sending out invitations. It is very foolish of you. Nothing annoys people so much as not receiving invitations.
Yes, but as I said, you are not going to be invited, my friend.
I haven't the smallest intention of doing anything of the kind. To begin with, I dine there on Monday, and once a week is quite enough to dine with one's own relations.
Ah, yes, your Aunt Augusta. You should much dine with her. Much better dine with her.
In the second place, however, I do dine there. I'm always treated like a member of the family. See, I've either slept with no women at all, or two. In the third place, I know perfectly well who she's sleeping next to tonight. Mary Farquhar. Mary Farquhar, she always flirts with her own husband across the dinner table, and that sort of thing is enormously on the increase these days. The amount of women in London who flirt with their own husbands it's perfectly scandalous. It looks so bad, it's simply washing one's clean linen in public. Besides, now that I know you to be a confirmed bunburyist, I naturally want to tell you everything about it.
I am not a bunburyist at all. If Gwendolyn accepts me, I am going to kill off my younger brother. In fact, I'll kill him off at all. Cecily is getting a little too interested in him. Yes, it is rather a bore.